If you're thinking about moving to Connecticut or even just moving within Connecticut, there's one question that matters more than anything. Where should you actually live? And here's the problem. Most people get this completely wrong. They pick a town based on reputation. They follow what a friend told them. They scroll through Zillow for 20 minutes and convince themselves they've got it all figured out. And what ends up happening? They overpay in the wrong town for a lifestyle that does not fit them. So in this video, I'm ranking what I believe are the top 8 suburbs in Connecticut right now, and I'm using real data, actual numbers from Smart MLS to back it up. But I'm also going to tell you what's not so great about each town, because that's the part most people leave out, and it's usually that part that matters most. I've lived in Connecticut my entire life. I'm Dave Jones with Dave Jones Realty. I run one of the largest independent brokerages in the state. This is my list. There's no perfect town. There's only the right town for you. And you're about to see exactly what I mean. So let's get right into it. Town number 8, Washington, Connecticut. It's located in Ridgefield County. This is quiet luxury. And I think that's going to surprise a lot of people. This is not your typical suburb. This is where people go when they want space, privacy, land, and they don't want to be bothered. You are in Litchfield County. That means rolling hills, working farms, hiking trails. It is honestly one of the most peaceful places you will find anywhere in Connecticut. Now let me show you what the data actually looks like here, because it tells an interesting story. The most recent stats at the time of this video, the median sales price was $1.165 million. That's up almost 50% year over year. And the average days on market is about 123 days. There's only 19 homes available, and inventory is about 4.6 months. So here's what those numbers tell you. This is a very slow moving market, very high priced market. It's not fast, it's not cheap, but when something sells, it's selling at a premium. Sellers are getting about 90 cents on the dollar here, which tells you there is some negotiating room if you know what you're doing. This is also one of the biggest second home markets in the entire state. New York buyers have been flooding into Washington for years because they want the weekend escape. The estate-style homes, the big lots, the long driveways, the farmer's market, the little bookstores, Lake Warramog. This is not a neighborhood where your neighbor's 10 feet away. Let's talk about some of the downside, some of the cons. You are not close to much. There's no major highway around. If you need to commute regularly, this is probably not your town. And when something great does come on the market, it might sit for a little while. Or it might move so fast if it's priced right. The key is to be ready to strike. But if lifestyle is your priority, Washington is hard to beat. Number 7 on my list, Simsbury up in Hartford County. And Simsbury is very photogenic. This is one of those towns where everything just feels like it was done right. When you drive through Simsbury, it almost feels like a movie set. A great town center, tons of outdoor lifestyle for biking trails, the Farmington River. Everything feels so clean, so organized, so calm. It's a very popular choice for people who want real suburban feel without feeling isolated like we did in Washington. Currently, the median home price is about $443,000, but the year-to-date median is $532,000. That's up 20% from last year. And homes are selling at a whopping 107.8% of list price. Let that sit in. Almost everybody's paying 10% more than asking price on average. There is also only 0.9 months of supply. There are only 22 closed sales there year to date, and that is part of the problem. There's not a lot of properties that come up on the market in Simsbury. The really important number to talk about is the 107.8% of list price. That means buyers in Simsbury are routinely paying over asking price. It is a super competitive market, and less than 1 month of supply tells you it is extremely tight. When something good hits the market, you have to move, and you have to move above asking price and fast. The downside to Simsbury, it's not one of the cheapest towns on the list. You're paying for that quality of life. It can feel a little quiet for some people, especially if you're coming from the city. If you need quick, easy highway access every single day, Simsbury is also not the most convenient, but the overall quality of life is very tough to beat. One thing you'll notice I do not talk about on the videos are the schools and the crime rates. Those are things you need to research independently. I can show you where to get the best data, greatschools.org, the local stats for crime on the state's website, but that is something that you will do your own due diligence on. Number 6, Shelton over in Fairfield County. This is what I like to call the secret weapon town. This is one of my favorites. It is a value play in the whole state of Connecticut. Shelton is a town that more and more people are starting to figure out. And once they do, they don't leave. Here's what's really happening. People want Fairfield County, but they don't want Fairfield County prices. Shelton is perfect middle ground. You've got lower taxes than most surrounding towns, great access to Route 8, the Merritt Parkway, I-95. It's a location that makes sense for daily life. It makes it super fast to get to the Mets games. As of February 2026, the median sales price was hovering right around $645,000. This is up almost 20% year over year. Closed sales in February doubled compared to last year, and pending sales year to date are up almost 70%. Homes are also selling at 103% of list price. These are not subtle numbers. That is a market with serious momentum. Buyers are moving to Shelton fast, and the prices are following. Let's talk a little bit about some of the drawbacks that Shelton has. It doesn't have the same polish as the high-end other towns in Fairfield County. Some areas feel more spread out, less defined, and there's no strong downtown identity. No obvious, let's meet downtown in Shelton kind of place, like the feel you would get in Ridgefield, let's say. That's changing now, but it's just not there yet. But for value and access, it's hard to ignore. Okay, so if you're watching this and thinking, how do I actually take all this data and make it work? Well, good news, that's what my team does every single day. Budget, commute, lifestyle, what you love, what you hate. All of it matters, and everyone's situation is different. If you want help narrowing it down, just reach out. Call, text, or email. We pick up. We'll point you in the right direction. We're here to help. All right, back to my list. 5 more towns to go. Number 5, Madison in New Haven County. Now we are talking shoreline. Madison is one of the best ways to get that classic coastal Connecticut lifestyle without going all the way into Fairfield County pricing. It's got beaches, a beautiful town green, awesome restaurants, ask me which one my favorite is, and shops. It has that New England coastal feel that people specifically move here for. People don't just buy in Madison because of the house. They buy in Madison because of how it feels to live there. All that coastal charm comes with a price. The median sales price this past month was $770,000. That's up 15% year over year. And the average sales price this year, $973,000, up 30%. Inventory dropped to only 29 homes with just 1.6 months of inventory, and closed sales were up 30% already this year. When average prices are pushing $1 million and inventory keeps dropping, that's a market where demand is consistently outpacing supply. And that is Madison in a nutshell. It's not a market you wait on, because waiting will cost you. Some of the negatives of Madison, you're paying for the shoreline. There's no way around it. Madison is not cheap. Inventory can be limited, which means competition when something good comes to the market. And depending on the time of the year, the town can feel a little seasonal. It's super lively in summer, it's quieter in the off season, but lifestyle ranks high on your list. Madison absolutely delivers. Number 4 is Cheshire in New Haven County, the neighboring town to where we are here in Prospect. Let's talk about it. I like to describe number 4, Cheshire, as one of the most balanced towns in Connecticut. It doesn't try to be flashy, it just works. It has a super central location, easy access to New Haven, Hartford, Waterbury. It's quiet, but not boring. It's one of those places where people move and they stay, which is great until you want to buy a house here and there's no inventory. As of February 2026, MLS data says houses are averaging about $557,000 this month. It's dropped a little bit. Days on market from last year has dropped significantly. It went from 100 days on market last February down to 40 days this February. Inventory fell 36% to just 23 homes on the market. Closed sales are up 45% with just 1 month's supply of inventory. Here's what the data is telling us. Buyers are moving faster to Cheshire. It's no surprise. There is so much good going on in Cheshire, from the new Whole Foods to the new Barnes and Nobles to all the great high-end condos. There is a lot to love about Cheshire. Homes that used to sit for 4 months are gone now in just weeks. Inventory is shrinking. That combination with faster sales, less supply, more closed transactions, that's a classic signal of a tightening market with growing demand. The negatives about Cheshire: there is no major downtown. If you want walkable, urban energy, that's not Cheshire. It's not a nightlife town. And for some people, especially those coming from a big city, it's going to feel a little sleepy, a little too quiet. But if you want consistency, stability, community that has functions, Cheshire's an awesome call. Number 3 on our list is Ridgefield, Connecticut, down in Fairfield County. Now we're stepping into a completely different category. It's one of the premier towns in all of Connecticut. It has top-tier schools, a true walkable downtown with arts, culture, real restaurants, and you're still within the reach of New York City. That combination is genuinely rare. The most recent smart MLS stats tell us this, though. The median sales price is $1.374 million. That's up almost 60% year over year. Days on market improved from 67 down to just 52. The year-to-date median sales price is $1.038 million. Now, I want to be transparent about February numbers. Small sample size in a luxury market can create big percentage swings month to month, but year-to-date median of over $1 million is consistent with where Ridgefield has been trending. It is a legitimately expensive market, and those prices reflect real, sustained demand. The thing about Ridgefield is it doesn't feel like a typical Connecticut suburb. It feels like a real town, almost European in a way that the downtown is organized, and that is not something you find here often. It's part of why demand never lets up. The cons? It's expensive. There's no version of this where I can sugarcoat that. Inventory is tight, and even at the entry level point, depending on where you are in town, commuting logistics need to be thought out thoroughly. But if it fits your budget and your lifestyle, Ridgefield is one of the best towns Connecticut has to offer. Number 2, Glastonbury, Connecticut in Hartford County. I'm going to say this plainly. Glastonbury is one of the most well-rounded towns in the entire state. Great schools, tons of shopping, great restaurants, a strong community feel, and you get that nice mix of suburban and rural development, depending on where you are, polished and developed in some areas, and then you turn a corner and you're on a beautiful country road with farm stands and open land that make you think like you're in Amish town, Pennsylvania. The most recent smart MLS stats tell us the median sales price is $575,000, with the year-to-date median sales price being $626,000. Both these numbers are up 11% from last year, while inventory has fallen to just 18 homes and 0.7 months of supply. New listings are down nearly 50%. 0.7 months of supply is extremely tight. For context, a balanced market is typically around 5 to 6 months of inventory. Glastonbury is sitting at less than a month. When inventory is that constrained, prices are still rising. That tells you buyers are competing hard for what little is available. One of the biggest cons with Glastonbury is the commute into Hartford can be painful depending on when you go. The bridges back up, the main highways are all congested, and you need to know a way around. You have to know some side roads. Prices have also been climbing, and they will continue to climb. Some areas of Glastonbury feel more rural than buyers expected, but overall, Glastonbury is one of the safest, most consistent bets in all of Connecticut, so place your money there. All right, we are down to number 1. But before I get there, if you've been watching this and you already have a town in mind, or you want to know exactly what the next steps are, don't sit there waiting. Call, text, email. Dave Jones Realty is here to help. My team of agents specialize in people moving in and out of Connecticut. All our information is on the screen, and we will help you figure out exactly where you fit in to the great state of Connecticut. We'll put you moving in the right direction. Okay, number 1 is West Hartford, Connecticut. No surprise to some people, West Hartford is probably the most complete suburb in all of Connecticut, period. If you want walkability, awesome restaurants, nightlife, serious shopping, strong schools, and a location that makes sense for how people really live their lives, it's West Hartford. This is the closest thing Connecticut has to a mini suburb. It delivers on all of this like no other town really does. The most recent smart MLS stats tell us that the median sales price for this month is $567,000. That's up about 20% year over year, and homes are selling at 106% of list price in just 17 days on market. There is only 0.9 months of supply, so less than a month. 106% of list price, 17 days on market. Let that sink in. The average home in West Hartford sells in about 2 weeks, and it sells for more than it's listed at, almost 10% more. That is a market that does not wait for you. If you're serious about West Hartford, you need to be ready to move when the right house comes up, and you have to make a smart offer. And here's what makes that data even more impressive. West Hartford has maintained that level of demand consistently. It's been that way for about 3 years. This isn't a 1-month spike. The town has been competitive for years and years. It shows no sign of slowing down. How about some honest cons when it comes to West Hartford? First off, West Hartford has higher property tax than most towns on the list. It's not the highest in the state, but you need to factor that in to your total mortgage cost and the cost of living. The second, the lots are smaller. West Hartford is more densely developed. If you want a big backyard, significant land, you're probably going to be looking in the outer edges of town or considering a different town altogether. The third, the competition's real. When a great house hits the market in a great neighborhood in West Hartford, it's gone. By the time you get around to setting up the showing, it's usually under contract. You have to have everything ready. You have to act fast. You have to be ready to move and not ready to think about it. But if convenience and lifestyle and a town that actually buzzes are what you after, then West Hartford's the answer. All right, here is the reality after going through all 8 of those towns. There is no best town in Connecticut. There's only the best town for you. The data doesn't lie. Every single one of these markets is moving, Inventory is tight across the board and across the state. Prices are rising, and buyers who wait usually end up paying more for less. The best time to buy was yesterday. The second best time to buy is today. If you're thinking about making a move, whether it's next month or next year, reach out to the Dave Jones Realty team today. We will go through your budget, the commute, the lifestyle, what matters most, and we will help you get it right the first time. If you got value out of this video, please comment and subscribe. I've got a lot more Connecticut content going on, and it's going to help you make the right move. Out of the 8 towns I mentioned, which one surprised you the most? Leave a comment. I read every single one. I'm Dave Jones with Dave Jones Realty, and I will see you in the next video.